Thank you for joining me for lesson 202 of our Sefer HaMitzvos daily study. And once again, it's late, so thanks for sticking with me. Today we are finishing up finally positive mitzvah 107 and getting to positive mitzvah 113. Positive 113, we're also going to spend some extra days on, and you'll see why. So we're starting out with positive mitzvah 107, which we've been talking about for over a week. Positive mitzvah 107 is the mitzvah of the laws of corpse impurity, tumas hames. This is the highest level of impurity that one can get, and it separates us from being able to participate directly in the offerings made at the temple, the worship done at the temple, etc. And so you're essentially excluded from the holiness of the holy mountain there in Jerusalem. So in order to and in fact even the holidays, etc., participating in the Passover, etc., all that would be off limits to you if you have tumat hames. In fact, the corpse impurity, there's an incident in the Torah where these men came to Moses and said, why should we be excluded? We were attending to a dead body. Why should we be excluded from celebrating the Passover? And so Moses talks to God, and God says, "Okay, you can do second Passover." I believe we've already talked about that. So that second Passover gave them a month to be able to cleanse themselves from the corpse impurity, and then to be able to do the offering of the Passover, and to eat that offering in purity 1 month after everybody else on Passover. And that's because of corpse impurity. That's the whole reason why second Passover happens. Of course, also, if you had some other extenuating circumstance that kept you from observing Passover during Nisan, you were able to have a second chance at it 1 month later, whether distance or something kept you from attending. So it takes 1 week of purification, and it takes ashes of the red heifer, which we're going to talk about in a moment, in order to be cleansed from this highest level of impurity, corpse impurity. All right, so that's positive mitzvah 107. We've talked a lot about it. There's still more that we didn't even cover, but we hit a lot of really good things to consider regarding corpse impurity, and the fact that it's pretty universal. It's pretty universal. There may be some people rumored who have kept themselves entirely from corpse impurity. You would have to be raised from a young child intentionally not to have corpse impurity, and then it would only be necessary for Kohanim, and then that would be necessary in order to perform the ashes, or getting the ashes of the red heifer from a red heifer that isn't yet ash. So that's positive mitzvah 113, and it comes from Numbers 19:9, which says, "And it shall be as a keepsake for the congregation, excuse me, of the children of Israel." So we're commanded to prepare the red heifer as detailed in the Torah to have it ready for the procedure of purifying those who are ritually impure as a result of contact with a corpse. So you have to go through steps in order to have that prepared and ready to go, those ashes ready to go, and there's water is necessary. The whole there's quite a few steps. Step one, though, is getting yourself a red heifer. Red heifers have been often, there's only been nine so far in history. Red heifers have often been supplied by people in the nations. And even we saw that recently, where a man from Texas who not sure if he was a Christian man or someone who considers himself messianic. He supplied red heifers, and he intentionally even bred red heifers so that he could be able to provide the red heifer to the Temple Institute in Israel. And he supplied, I think, nine different ones. They only allowed maybe it was like five or six into the land of Israel, and they killed one of them and burned it, um, following a lot of the steps, maybe not all the steps of the red heifer, in order to uh, have a practice run. There's rumors that it wasn't just a practice run. If it wasn't just a practice run, then they did some things that don't seem to fit the way the sages say that things were done or were to be done for the red heifer. Um, so you need a cow, a red cow that has never come into contact with a yoke, never pulled something, never had um, any burden on it whatsoever, even leaning on it. You can't even lean on it. So when this farmer raised them, he raised them intentionally to follow the rules that the Torah sets for the red heifer. Red heifer also can't have different colored hairs. They got to be red from the tip of their nose to you know to their tail. Red, red, red nose, red body, red hair. They can't even have like two discolored hairs next to each other. And if they do, it's disqualified. So that's why there's often when there's a report of there's a possible red heifer, they have to evaluate it for a certain period of time to make sure that this is a qualifying animal. And then once it has been deemed qualified, then the process of killing the animal and burning it, etc., needs to be performed as well in order to get the ashes. And then those ashes have to be mixed with water, and there's more steps we're going to have to cover here. Um, but that is step one: obtaining a red heifer. Like I said, there's been nine so far, and they say the 10th is going to be with the coming of Messiah, whether preceding just before or once he has arrived. Um, we don't know, but that is the expectation is that the 10th will be with the coming of Messiah, and it's telling that we haven't had any any other red heifers that qualified for this process for 2,000 years. All right. Thank you so much for joining me for lesson 202 with God's help. We'll be back tomorrow for lesson 203, where we will continue to talk about the red heifer and the different steps in that process. Have a great day, what's left of it, in every way. Good night.